And if we could inspire you to do one thing out of this conference, and think about this. I went to high school in St. Catharines. I went to Waterloo badly, failed out, just about got my degree barely. They don't even acknowledge that I have a degree barely. Through a series of stumbling accidents, et cetera, and somehow, and a ton of luck, you end up in a place where you can just do whatever the hell you want and say whatever. And it comes from the combination of having the massive vision and then executing against it relentlessly. And that combination can't be beaten. And I'm going to tell Dan Barry's story, if I could.
Yeah, of course.
So Dan Barry is one of our first faculty members. He's a 3-time space shuttle astronaut. Okay? And and he tells this unbelievable story. When he's 5 years old, he wants to be an astronaut. When he's 7 and 8 years old, okay, maybe only a quarter of the people in the class want to be an astronaut. When he's 13, 14 in high school, he wants to be an astronaut. When he was a kid, his parents made him wear a football helmet, not because he played football, because he kept jumping off the roof trying to fly and getting in hospital. And after the 4th trip to the hospital, they're like, you have to wear a football helmet nonstop, because otherwise you're going to bash your brains out. So he's doing this. He goes, and he's in high school, the guidance counselor says, you're not going to be an astronaut. You're not tall enough, you're not good looking enough, you're not smart enough, you ain't going to get there. And when he's 20, there's 2 ways of becoming an astronaut. You become an engineer, a flight engineer, or you become a doctor. He does both, because he wants to double his chances. Age of 23, they open up the applications for the space shuttle program. Sends in the 3-inch thick application for being an astronaut. Gets back the thin envelope saying, nah, you didn't make it. Okay? Age 24, does it again. 25, 26, 27, 28, keeps applying. Now he's like up for tenure. And his chairman's going, what the hell are you doing? You're up for tenure. Why are you applying to be an astronaut? He goes, I want to go into space. He goes, listen, give it up. It's never going to happen. 29, 30, 31. At age 30, when he applied, he didn't get back the answer. He calls NASA and says, did you get my application? And NASA's like, we know who you are. 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, he keeps applying. Every year he's got to fill out this huge application, get application forms in, get recommendation letter, all that crap. Every year he's doing the same thing. Doesn't stop. Now he's being told, you're too old. You can't make it. Okay? You will not make it. You're too old to be an astronaut. 34, 35, 36, 37. 14 years after applying, he gets in. And he does 3 space flights and 2 spacewalks, and he has, I think, the world record of being floating in space for free, tethered. Okay? And when he gets there, he finds that everybody else waited a long time as well. NASA deliberately says no to everybody for a long time because they want to know that if there's a problem in space, that you will not stop until you solve it. That's their criteria. And what it tells you is if you refuse to take no for an answer, then everything is possible. And I tell this little story in the book. Larry and, this is unbelievable. Okay. The real nightmare is you play tennis with this guy, and he refuses to frickin' lose. So you can't beat the guy. He just hunkers down. You can't beat the guy. It's unreal. It's just unbelievable, the mental discipline that comes from that. I tell this quick story in the book where Larry and Sergey, how many of you know how many times Larry and Sergey pitched for investment before they got funded? 350. 350 investor pitches because Larry and Sergey.
Larry and who? Sergey who?
Oh, for God's sake. 350. What if they'd stopped at 340? How many other entrepreneurs stopped at 340? And this is the point. If you just refuse to give up, you can't not succeed. And how do you get that? That's the mindset to get into your kids. Don't ever stop. Grit plus a massive purpose, you never beat that.